Hello and welcome. I'm Louise Watt, and here's what happened this week. Countries marked the signing of an agreement 70 years ago that ended fighting on the Korean Peninsula. The Korean War pitted North Korea, backed by China, against South Korea, supported by the United States. But few people remember Taiwan's role in this war. Ed Moon explains.
It's been called the Forgotten War and set the stage for 4 decades of great power conflict. But in Taiwan, the country's role in the Korean War is rarely discussed. On July 27, 1953, the United Nations, North Korea, and China signed an agreement to suspend hostilities, bringing a peace that lasts to this day. It marked the end of 3 years of fighting over the Korean Peninsula between the Communist North, backed by China and the Soviet Union, and the South, backed by a UN coalition made up mostly of US forces. China's entry into the war changed the tide of what seemed destined to be a victory for the South. Beijing committed over 1 million troops to the North's aid in late 1950. Of the 20,000 Chinese prisoners of war captured by UN forces, 14,000 came to Taiwan. It was a moral victory for Taiwan's nationalist government.
我叫刘纯杰，我是河南卢氏县人。
Liu Chunjian is now 91 years old. He lives in a quiet dormitory for Navy veterans in Taiwan's northern port city of Geelong. But this quiet setting belies the turmoil of his younger years. His family were branded counter-revolutionaries by the local communists after World War II. He joined the nationalist forces to seek revenge until his superior officers surrendered in 1949. Liu then became a soldier in the PLA and was sent to fight in Korea. When he was captured, he didn't hesitate to come to Taiwan.
共产党他有个政策，就是你只要投降了敌人了，你回去就是叛徒。所以你哪有人那么傻瓜回去遭倒霉去啊？故意回去遭倒霉，明明可以到别地方去，干嘛我也去回去遭清算斗争啊？
But not all the prisoners of war who ended up here chose to come. Many of them were instead coerced by agents from Taiwan's authoritarian Kuomintang government.
我叫赵英奎，1934年出生的，在海南是参加了18兵团、60军、1804538团。
Like Liu, Zhao Yinghui was also a former nationalist soldier captured by the communists during the Chinese Civil War. After the Korean War, he actually wanted to go back to China. But while in UN detention, he was repeatedly beaten up and forcibly tattooed with anti-communist slogans by nationalist agents. The tattoos made it impossible for him to return home.
他们里头有公板啦，有像那个板球板子啦，什么东西有这个东西啦。他们会讲英文呢，美国人都不管啦。他在铁丝网里头，我们在帐篷里头啊，就是你不听不吃，你要想回答就把你打死。
Liu and Zhao are just 2 among thousands who came to Taiwan after the Korean War. But they're some of the very few still here, 70 years on. Their stories of heroism, heartbreak, and separation are a part of Taiwan's history, one that should not be forgotten. James Lin, Justin Wu, Sam Hui, and Ed Moon for TaiwanPlus.
The King Boat Festival is a religious event with 70 years of history in southern Taiwan. It involves months of painstaking preparation of a boat, which Eugene Huang got to see.
A magic final touch added to this boat fit for a king, and the craft and its hand-painted figures are believed to come to life. This is the beginning of the King Boat Festival, a famous religious ceremony held by Donggang Temple in the southern county of Pingtung. Every 3 years, temple workers build a new boat to be blessed by the deity Wen Wangye, who is known for protecting people who work out at sea. The boat and accompanying ceremony are believed to help ward off diseases. To people living in a small seaside town, this event is a big deal.
我伫外口讲吼，过年无倒来无要紧，
东港3年一个月的祭典，若出外去的洗子洗弟，伊拢会足欢喜，要倒来参加这祭典的仪式。这是东港人一个信仰。
The ceremony follows ancient traditions, but it's not just for men in robes. Big crowds are drawn to one part in particular. Candies and red envelopes filled with money are thrown to the crowd as an auspicious sign, symbolizing the throwing of a fishing net. Now the boat has been brought to life, it will stay in the temple for worship, for now.
Here at the front is the King Boat's captain, Wang Chuangong. This figure looks like an old-fashioned Taiwanese official. You can see he's holding a tobacco pipe, which used to represent people with status. Next year, this whole boat is going up in flames, and so will Wang Chuangong.
The boat may be destined to go up in flames, but that doesn't mean they made it cheaply. It cost more than $380,000 US to make. And it's not just the exterior that is carefully crafted. On board are all the facilities needed for its human and animal passengers, even if they are not real. It's a tradition that's been passed down through generations of families, with temple members handling their roles on from father to son.
那我从小就跟着王爷到现在，40几年了。
But this hereditary nature also poses a threat to the future of the King Boat Festival. Although there's never a shortage of spectators, there are fewer young people willing to take on roles in the temple.
所以这坐船师傅咧，即阵的年龄拢伫咧60、70岁啊。这以后要搁传承咧，都有一个困难度，有一寡少年的嘛要搁传承袂晓，唔知。
Although the King Boat Festival is only held every 3 years, preparations being 2 years out. And for the people who live in this harbor town, it's far more than just a religious event. It's an opportunity to renew a sense of community, one that could be lost to history without a new generation to take on the mantle. Kamashi, Edmund, and Eugene Huang for TaiwanPlus.
A band formed by migrant workers wowed audiences when it took to the stage at Megaport, Taiwan's most iconic music festival. As Yvonne Yang now reports, such a band was a first for the festival.
This is Juba Hitam, a metal band based in Chiayi, southwestern Taiwan, made up of 6 Indonesian migrant workers. It was formed by lead guitarist David in 2019. Starting out as a cover band, they used to perform songs by Indonesian rock acts. They began to write their own music in 2020 after a shuffle of band members. The band's vocalist Robbie said the idea of creating original music came after a discussion with David, the guitarist.
Saya saling sharing lah intinya. Awal bikin suatu karya itu rencana Jubah Hitam tuh sekarang mau dibawa kemana gitu. Seperti itu. Jadi dari situlah kami punya sebuah keinginan lah si Jubah Hitam tuh harus berkarya nih, kita harus punya karya nih.
Migrant workers playing music in Taiwan is not a new development. There's been a migrant music scene here for over 2 decades. Jubah Hitam would play gigs for Indonesian events.
至少在过去20年的历程里面，我们已经可以看到从印尼来台湾表演的明星跟移工在同一个舞台上演出。
Jubah Hitam started making a name for themselves in Taiwan's indie music scene 2 years ago. They've performed at music festivals and various live houses across the country. Social media has been instrumental in their success. In the era of social networks, it's much easier for the band to market themselves.
就是我们可以看到现在比较活跃的一些乐团，像是黑跑 Jubah Hitam， 或者有另外一个叫南部闹事团 Southern Ride， 他们其实都很会用网络行销自己。
Social media also played a key role in the band's schedule. Balancing music and their jobs has not been easy. The band members all work at different factories that give them different days off. But there's no show without an audience. Jubah Hitam has a big group of loyal fans in Taiwan. Some of these Indonesian metal music lovers created their own community.
Indonesia juga punya komunitas IMTW, Indonesia Metalhead Taiwan. Nah itu juga sangat mensupport kami baik secara atmosfer di acara ataupun secara personal.
Making a living off music seems like a wild dream, but the band is determined to make it come true.
Untuk rencana ke depan yang lebih jauh, kita mau jadi band profesional, entah pulang Indo kita masih lanjut. I know, saya tidak tahu gitu itu kedepannya seperti apa gitu. Nah tapi kita ya punya tekad semuanya lah. Kita punya punya semangat semuanya lah.
Jubah Hitam's story proves that a love for music can transcend every challenge. Klein Wang, Kamashi, Yujing Huang, and Li Yang for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan is home to one of the world's most diverse populations of fireflies, but they are in danger. Our reporter James Chater took a trip into the darkness to see for himself.
In the dark, a flicker of light from a marvel of Taiwan's natural world. This soft green flash is being emitted from one of Taiwan's 65 species of fireflies, but they're under threat.
随着我们的环境的一个改变，都市化、科技化之后，变成是我们现在比较不容易发现这样的萤火虫。
There are around 2,000 species of firefly in the world. The 65 that live in Taiwan make it one of the countries with the richest diversity of firefly in the world. Taiwan trails only Jamaica and Costa Rica. But Taiwan also has one of the densest human populations on Earth. At night, that generates a lot of light, which can disrupt fireflies' natural behaviors.
那这种微光呢，没有办法跟我们人类所制造出来的电灯啊、灯泡这些相比，好，所以他们会发现自己没有办法去在这个环境里面，得到这个配对的机会，所以它自然而然就不会在这个环境出现，这是一个光对他来讲是光害的问题。
Workers at Tocheng Leisure Farm on Taiwan's northeast coast are trying to help. The farm provides sustainability tours showcasing Taiwan's plants, natural produce, and landscapes. But they've also set up protected areas for the fireflies and lead educational nighttime walks for visitors.
所以我们在这个环境的部分会重视到让整个森林的环境啊，能够尽量走自己的自然的一个循环。自然的循环，我们尽量减少人为的过度干扰，好，那这样子环境就会给农场给萤火虫一个很天然的家，那自然而然它就可以在这边永续的生存。
Fireflies are now a treasured part of Taiwan's ecosystem, and people at Tocheng Leisure Farm are doing all they can to ensure these lights will keep shining. Ethan Pan, Damon Lin, and James Chater for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching. Here's what happened, a varied show for you today. Remember to download the TaiwanPlus app for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally today, we leave you with images of an environmental documentary projected onto a bridge in Vancouver that's now playing in a VR theatre in southern Taiwan. I'm Louise Watt. Take care. We'll see you next time.
For more stories about animals in Taiwan, follow TaiwanPlus on Facebook and Twitter or download the TaiwanPlus app.